I've got to mute it as well. There we are on the old I've got to mute it as well. On the YouTube. Back onto the Zoom. Right. Sean Swiss Sweeney, SweeneyTV, Sweeney HQ. It's Sunday. We are back with our original program. We've got Lina Bonsor on today from Tayper and Balla. Balla?
Balla.
Balla. Tayper and Balla. Coventry. How are you, Lina?
I'm all right, babe. How are you?
I'm excellent. I know it's late, but Happy New Year.
And to you, my love.
Thank you very much. So, Lina, first question, how are you?
I'm bored. I am beyond bored. I'm not made for homeschooling. I'm not meant to be at home with my kids and my husband all the time because somebody is probably going to die pretty soon.
Remember, keep it clean. You know, youngsters watch it.
Oh, you've got evidence now. Shit.
I know. So you can't do anything. You're knackered. Oh. But so you're really struggling at home, not working.
It's driving me mad. I didn't realise how much of a social person I am until I couldn't be social. I always thought I kind of like being at home, you know, on my sofa watching telly and stuff. But I miss going out so much. Even if it is just to work to, you know, pop my head in the door and say hello, I didn't realise how much I would miss it.
Same here. It's difficult times, isn't it, with this pandemic? We're all feeling the strain. You know, I know you love being in work. You love being that social person. You know, what do you miss about it?
Just talking to different people, hearing different stories, chatting, you know, so many different conversations a day. And I have to say, one of the biggest things I miss are the boys I work with. They drive me fucking insane. They are like my work children, but I miss them. I just want to hug them. I do miss them. They'll fucking kill me for saying that, but yeah, my babies.
well, that's good. So, you know, let's go into where you work at the moment. Obviously, you was open for a brief period last year. If you'd just like to tell the SweeneyTV fans, how was that going back to work?
Oh, it was so nice. Yeah, I missed the shop because it's a real kind of old shop. It's set in like a 200-year-old building in like the old area of Coventry. So it's all the medieval buildings. And the building itself was put into storage for about 30 years. And then they rebuilt it like in this old area of the city centre. And it's gorgeous. It's freezing because there is no heating. But I love it so much. And it's like looking at all the wood, there's like different marks through the wood, and we've got a great big pool table, we've got coffee machines. I love it, and I miss it. I miss the building as well.
Oh, brilliant. So obviously going back into work with the PPE, how did you get on with the PPE?
Didn't like it. I don't know anyone that said they got on well with it. It's like my skin is still recovering from the masks. Because obviously you're breathing all day, all the bacteria from, you know, that's in your mouth and on your breath, it kind of goes on the mask and on your face. My skin is awful. I've got broken hair all kind of around the sides from the visors. And oh God, it's just horrific. And the gloves make your hands sweat and you end up with sore hands. It's awful. It's understandable why we have to do it, but it's just bloody awful.
Yeah, well, Lina, that's what I was going to say. You know, obviously, you know, you're a female working in the barbering industry. Obviously, you know, we know that. Obviously, you know, it seems to be male dominated, but clearly it's not. There's actually more female barbers than actual men's barbers. So that's been like that for a while. But obviously, you know, being a female barber working in the barbering industry, you know, like again, that's exactly you go through a different. You know, you're wearing makeup, you know, you've got longer hair, you know, your PPE is a lot more difficult to tackle than, say, for us men who've got shaved fades and stuff, you know?
I think it's still crap for men as well. I think it's still shit because the men have got beards and stuff and the masks pull on the beard hair and they end up with that stupid kink underneath. So it is just as tough for men as well, I think.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a very, very good point. Very good point. And but like obviously, you know, wearing makeup and stuff like that. Is there any tips you've got for anybody out there to combat that, or is it just you're all in the same boat?
Just don't fucking wear it. Give up. I gave up. Didn't bother. Or I do like my eyes above the mask, and that was it. Because you just
Okay.
sweat it off anyway.
No, I know. Well, that's one of the things that we've got to put up with this new COVID. It's been difficult on all of us, but you know, moving on to better things now. I noticed you've just got an ambassador role. Congratulations!
Sure.
So just talk about that, Lina. Obviously, I haven't asked you too much because I wanted you to exclusively tell the SweeneyTV fans. So this is exclusive for me as well.
Okay, so during the week, I was announced as an ambassador for Zero Gap magazine, and it's a global online magazine that supports female barbers in the industry. It's not, don't get me wrong, it's not exclusively women only, you know, no men allowed, but it just promotes and helps kind of build that relationship between female barbers instead of us kind of trying to rip each other's eyes out, I suppose.
That's brilliant. I love hearing that because it brings the female barbering industry together. Everybody can support each other. We can stop the bullying. We can stop the negativity. We can stop the backstabbing. We can stop the frenemy friendships people have built with people. And let's get back to being a massive team where we all love each other and we can all say to each other, let's have a good time. And we're all on different ships, all at different levels in our industry. And, you know, Lina, I just want to say I'm really proud of you. I've watched you come up from the first time I met you as a British Master Barber, 2017. You and Nigel were in the crowd and you were watching me all day shaving. And I just want to say thank you for that as well.
Yeah, and but you introduced me to people to help me do that and to help build my...
I opened doors, Lina. I opened doors, and I opened doors for everybody.
You did.
And I've had a lot of muck thrown on me over the years, but I'll still keep opening these doors.
Because you're lovely. Thank
you very much, Lina. But again, you know, going on to awards, you know, you clocked up the awards since then. You know, let's have a little chat about that. So let's start off with what you got awarded first.
Okay, so I got my British Master Barbers, which I never thought I'd even get. I knew about it, but I just thought I'm never going to get it. So I originally applied for the one below it, the Professional Barber. And Anthony got in touch with me and said, you do know that you can get the Master Barber? I was like, yeah, great, I'll go for it. So that was all sorted. And then I managed to get my Grandmaster. I'm still not sure how that happened. A couple of emails were sent and there was pictures online and me helping out the local college because I do work quite closely with the local college. Tayper and Balla as a whole, we do anyway. And yeah, I ended up with my Grandmaster Barber as well. And that for me was, I remember watching Rob and you and other people on stage with that. And I just kind of thought, that's way out of my league. I'm never going to get that. And then I got it. And then I thought, you know what?
Lina, 1 minute, let me stop you there. You have been on stage with me 2019, 2018, and I believe 2017.
I think so, the end of.
Well, like we did. How many main stages did we do at Barbecue? Did we do 2 or 3? I'm sure we did 3.
I can't even remember.
Well, anyway, you've done multiple events with me where you've been on stage with me, and you've always done brilliant. You've held yourself amazing. You've been extremely nervous, but you've kicked the nerves now. The nerves are gone. You've become a Nagwell barber, female Nagwell barber.
Knows how nervous I get. I start pacing, and then I'm touching up my makeup. And do I look all right? Do I sound okay? Do I sound professional? I've got to really try not to swear, and I wind myself up. And you lot are so used to me. You're like, just shut the fuck up. You shut up.
We're a family together, and that's exactly what we are. You are my sister, and so on. So,
and we do.
Talking about Barber UK, we did the 1900s Peaky Blinders show. That was in 2019. And you were speaking with Tony. And with your Coventry Midlands accent, you fitted in perfectly into the show. And you did say to me, you said, how come I'm not cutting? And I said, just look, just watch what we're doing, Lina. And we needed you to do that bit, because if you were doing it cutting as well, you wouldn't have done such a good job. You spoke excellent. And if you can remember that day, just tell people how it all started.
It was brilliant. So we all kind of got together and had a chat and a bit of a powwow about what we were doing and what, you know, where people were coming in. And I had these A4 pieces of paper with loads of stuff printed on it that Tony had a little look over. I did my own research into female barbers of the time. And I ended up down a bit of a rabbit hole because I really got involved in it. And I was looking into, there was a lot of child female barbers that were like 8 years old that were world known for how quickly they could do a full wet shave in like 6.5 minutes at 7 years old. Still can't do that now at 35. But yeah, and it was just fantastic. And then you guys went on stage and it was kind of a run through of all the things you were doing that would have happened in the 1900s. And it was fantastic. And Tony would say his bit and then he'd give me the nod and I'd say my bit. And then he'd say his bit and then you guys would do a bit and then he'd talk and then it was just brilliant the way it all kind of wrapped together and it worked. And then we all had photos afterwards and it was so lovely. I loved it. I did.
Brilliant. Can you remember any of the lines? Can you recite any of them? Can you remember off the top of your head, or is it a bit too far back?
I can remember the child barber, and I remember talking about how men preferred to go to female barbers of the time, and how women would be working from the back rooms of pubs as barbers because it wasn't seen as a woman's job. It was really seedy for a woman to be a barber. And how women were always there to entertain. Bloody entertain, come off it. But yeah, it was that kind of, I remember the stories, but I can't remember the individual lines. I don't know. Well,
to be honest, I can't remember anything about that day at all. All I remember is Neil going, my head, and I was like, shut up. Like, obviously, I'm using the hand shears. Rob's like burning half the stage down at the back.
Oh, God, yeah.
Tony's just absolutely funny. H was just like shaving. Who was he? He was shaving Andy, wasn't he? He was shaving Andy.
I think so, yeah.
And then obviously you got the boys down the bottom. Then Amin and Hamids were at the bottom. Yeah. And it was a great day. It was probably one of our best shows we did. I think we were the most watched show that day by miles. Everybody watched us. It was great. We had a couple of bit of negativity afterwards by one of our sadly lost barbers, Tony Roberts, our repeat brother. But you know, he did give a little bit of backlash for it, but he remembers them times better than us. And at the end of the day, when I spoke to Tony Copeland about it afterwards, he was like, sure, look, at the end of the day, we did what we did. And people will always criticize us. And unfortunately, it's somebody fellow, but it happens. And, you know, at the end of the day, we got to keep what we're doing. We're always going to get mud thrown at us. We just got to make sure we use Persil.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
So, Lina, obviously, this is my book, right? Look, I got so much stuff in there from all my interviews. Like when somebody finds this in the year 3025 and like the robot barbers are taking over, they're going to be looking at this like, Lina, Bonsor, who is this? Tayper, barber. Anyway, so moving on now, we're going to go on to industry idols.
Oh my God.
Like, let's pick your brain, Lina. Who do you watch on the lockdown? I know you watch me, but like take me, Rob, and the British Master Barbers on there. Who do you watch? Who you don't know?
There's one guy I've started watching. He's a really nice young lad, and it was the guys at work that got me onto him. His name's Sam Rascal. He's really, really good, and he does a lot of classic barbering as well. But it's the old techniques mixed in with the new techniques, and he's so good at it. He's really, really good. Cindy, a fellow female barber from Coventry, Cindy Diviette, I watched some of her stuff as well. You know, when you just kind of start watching and you end up watching more and more and more, I couldn't even tell you half the people I end up watching, but I end up going back to work after lockdowns and I'm like, right guys, watch this, and they're like, oh, for fuck's sake, here we go again. But yeah, I love it. They get really ratty.
It's fine, Lina. So what platforms do you watch mainly stuff on? Are you a YouTuber? Are you a Facebooker? Are you an Instagrammer?
On Facebook.
Facebook.
You know, when you just click on the button and they're there and it just kind of keeps going.
Do you ever use Twitter?
No, I gave up on Twitter. I used to be on it years ago, and I just gave up on it because I thought it's just a load of people having to go at a load of other people when they wouldn't do that in the high street. So why do it on a social platform? So I kind of went away from that.
No, exactly. And that's it, Lina, right? Is that people need to, like, my problem with social media is the barbers doing silly things, like slapping each other over the head with towel just for the video, or, you know, washing their hair aggressively, or doing stupid things like shaving eyebrows off. Like, letting people use your clippers in the shop when they're a client is a no-no.
No. Any customer lays their hands on anything of mine, don't expect to sit in my chair again. It won't happen.
Yes, exactly. So going on to obviously working in the barbershop with your tools. What's your go-to tools, Lina, at the moment? Obviously, like Zero Gap, I thought they were a clipper company, but they're a magazine, and I thought they might have had the clipper company on the side. But again, like I said, what's your go-to clipper, trimmer?
See, I keep going back to my magics. Always go back to my wild magics. I have tried Babyliss. The only ones I haven't tried are Gamma. And I'm tempted by a pair of Ergos when I can get hold of them. See what they're like. But I've tried Panasonic, Babyliss, you name it, and they all end up in the bottom of the box. Or I just sell them because I don't like them. But the Babyliss skeleton trimmer, love it. Don't know what I did without that. Absolutely freaking love that.
Yeah.
What else do I use? My Mataki scissors. I have got probably about 10 pairs now, and I always use my arrows and my Erebus, and then I've got my sharks as well. I absolutely love them. And then I got the flower scissor for point cutting, and I got the texturizers. Well, sorry, thinning scissors for when did I get them? Last year during lockdown, and I couldn't wait to use them. Nigel literally hadn't walked in the door, and I was like, "You need a haircut," and he didn't, but he got one anyway.
There you go. There you go. It's like Christmas for us barbers, isn't it? When we get on.
I love it. I get so excited, and I take photos and I film it, and then I look back an hour later, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's shit. I'm not that video shit. The quality is really bad." But then I'm wanging them around, and I'm like, "Yeah, superstar. I love it."
Brilliant.
That's what we do.
So products. What styling products? What do you use when you're working? Have you got a go-to, or are you a mixed bag like me?
On ladies' hair, I like Osmo, and I like a couple of their products on gents, especially when they start taking more care of the hair, like perms. I was doing probably about between 7 and 10 perms per week. And I would always try and sell them the Osmo curl solution and stuff like that, because it's really, really good. But the products, my go-to is Squire. I love it. The foam is my favourite, and the cream by far is my favourite. I love the combo.
Are you still working with Squire? Good. Are you an ambassador for them, or is that just something you work on, or did you show work for them? I know they don't really do ambassador roles, do they?
No, I've known
it. A team of people they use, and you're one of them.
I've known him as long as I know you. And we're just mates. He's come to the shop, and we've had it all introduced into the shop, so a lot of the customers now love the stuff as well. And we keep pretty much everything in stock of his anyway. But he does a lot of things like candles and scented reeds, and I love it. So literally, Nigel, I bought him the candles for Christmas, and they're next to me on the shelves. I love them. But yeah, he does a lot of kind of unusual stuff as well like that. And he's got a beard balm that is just gorgeous. But all of his products are scented from Hugo Boss. And they are just amazing. They're not flowery and all crappy and girly and like smell clunky or whatever.
Well, I got a big bottle of Hugo Boss Black for Christmas.
Everybody knows Hugo Boss, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I do like the Hugo Boss. So Squire's the one to go to, Lina, yeah?
Me, 100%.
Brilliant. So what else was I going to talk about? Obviously, you've got your Master Craftsman and your, what's the hairdresser one? Is that a hair craftsman, or is it hairdressing?
Craftsman, same as
Master
the
Craftsman of hairdressing.
Yeah.
There's Master Craftsman of hairdressing, Master Craftsman of barbering.
Yeah.
So, just for the fans, so they don't get confused. There's my one.
Yeah.
I gotta do it, haven't I? I'm in the shop.
You gotta join it. You gotta
You
do
gotta
it.
show it off, Lina. At the end of the day, I've worked 27 years to get that. 27 years. So, Lina, what's what's next? Do you think for the industry with COVID-19 and what's going to go on? Do you think we're going to open?
I think. What have you seen today? They reckon it's going to be June 17th in England. June bloody 17th. Ridiculous. I don't know. I think a lot of people are going to be recording a lot of stuff, like doing home haircuts, like on their family, not people that they don't live with, but a lot of family and people they live with, and mannequin heads. So I think people are building a lot of content. So I think maybe we're going to see a lot of new barbers coming up, like when we open up. But I think people are just going to be trying to recover. I don't think people are going to be as focused on taking out, 10 barbers that live in their local area. I think people are just going to try and financially recover from this, because unfortunately a lot of people aren't, and that's, it's such a shame that this is happening. I know too many people that have had to close because of it, and it is heartbreaking.
I've known so many people who've had to close. Established places as well, like been there for a while, Gelagio. I work for them twice. They're a great barbershop. Loads of history, loads of memories there. I used to go to London. You used to go with all the girls down there. It's like me, Chris, and Marvin, and like 30 girls going to London. It was great. Used to love it, especially when you used to stay in a hotel. It used to be brilliant. But yeah, it's like that's what I was saying, Lina. Like the shows. What do you miss about the shows? Because you've been going to the show same as me. You've gone to most of them. First of all, what's your favourite show, and then I'll do question 2.
My favourite show is, I don't know. Hair UK I like because it's local, and that's only 20 minutes down the road for me. Master Barber Live I love because it's not a massive show, and you kind of know everybody there because of the groups you interact a lot, and you kind of know everyone.
It's just the Master Barbers, isn't it? It's a member show.
But everybody,
like anybody can go, but it's a member show. It's built on the membership money to provide the show, and people seem to forget that.
People are always invited to do stuff, and it's nice because it kind of opens the door for a lot of people who probably wouldn't even consider it. And Telford, I never went to it when it was in the smaller place in Wales. I only went to oh God, what's it called in Telford? I can't remember.
What about Barber Connect?
That's the one. See what I mean? My memory's the worst. And oh my God, I love it. We always do an overnight, and the show in the day is fantastic. On the Saturday, it's fantastic, or the Friday, it depends which day you go.
No, it's Saturday. No, it's Sunday, Monday.
Sunday, isn't it?
Sunday, Monday. No.
That's the one. That's my bedtime, Sean, I tell you. But yeah, it's like we'll go on the Saturday, and like we stay overnight. We end up meeting up for everyone, and the rest of it is a write-off because we just have such a laugh. Yeah. Like last time I was there, I come home and my elbow was killing me for days, and I looked and my arm was black.
Yeah, because you donut, we were all having food in this fancy restaurant. We're all drinking outside and that. You go, there's a park, and then next thing you know, like you and 2 of the girls were running off over the park.
It was me and one of the Mataki guys. Off we went up this slide.
Yeah, was it James?
No, it wasn't James.
No, one of the workers, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you come back, you're like, oh, what have you done? That was a brilliant weekend.
That was so good.
Yeah, I love that.
That was
brilliant. Everyone was so nice.
Yeah.
Everyone was so cool. All the girls were cool. All the barbers were cool. The lads were cool. There was no arguing, no fighting.
Between people, but nobody brought it to the show. It was just everybody had fun and everybody dealt with it, and it wasn't about animosity and trying to show each other up. It worked, and that's what I miss, because this industry, when it comes together, is
brilliant, isn't it?
Absolutely unknockable. They can take anything on, but then when we all splinter off and we all start hating each other, that's when problems start.
Yeah,
and that's what I miss, the togetherness about it all.
Well, Lina, I've had plenty of reason to kick off and do stupid things and start saying stuff about people, and I haven't. I've just kept my tongue. I've defended myself when I needed to, and I've also embarrassed myself when I've needed to. At the end of the day, I'm a human being. I'm just a man being a man. I can only be where I need to be. I cut hair, and I do what I need to do. And whether it's right or wrong, sometimes that's my decision, and God will only judge me. But Lina, are you like me and you talk about spirituality a lot? I know we're quite connected through a lot of stuff. Sort of going off the subject of barbering a bit, how do you relax? Other than, I know you've got the kids, but how do you relax? Like, do you meditate? Do you?
No, I ain't got time for none of it, to be fair. I like to just like, I'll go to bed an hour early, like before Nige comes up to bed or something, and I'll read a book with like a cup of tea. I know it sounds really old lady, but that's the kind of stuff I do. And I've always, right, this is really, really like granny-ish, but I've always knitted and crocheted. I was shown when I was a kid, and I've always done it since.
What, knitting?
Knitted and crocheted, yeah.
Rob was talking about knitting. I've ordered my kit.
Mate, it's great. It really helps. See, I crochet because it's quicker, and I'm an impatient cow.
So what is that? I'm a man. I don't know. I'm joking.
I love it because it keeps my hands moving, and I find because of
what are you actually doing? Is it that string ball stuff?
Yeah, it's like the way you move the wool around your fingers and stuff like that, and you have to keep your wrists moving and your hands moving and your fingers moving. I think
sounds a bit like wizardry to me.
Yeah. Hey, you'll learn. You'll get there. You'll come to me and you'll be like, "What wool do I use?" Yeah. You'll get there. Yeah. I find with my illness though, it's easier because I seize up if I don't kind of use my fingers, so it's just easier to keep moving.
Lina, I'm too busy spinning records. I can't be spinning wool. So you know me, I love to get on them decks and have a good laugh. I'm going to jump on after and do a little.
You'll do it, and you'll find it so therapeutic. You really will.
No, listen. I have done some sort of crafting and stuff before. I used to be a scout, so you have to do sewing and stitching and all that to get our badges. So, we were forced into it mainly. Most of us, we didn't really want to do it, but we did it. And then later on in life, then you realise, I got a rip in my jacket. You go, actually, I know how to stitch that.
You go, oh.
You know what I mean? So it comes in handy. So never, ever turn the knowledge down, kids. And that's what I want to say to you as well. What message have you got for the younger generation coming through, like people like young Joe who work for me and other apprentices who will watch this back, and people who will watch this like later on in the future where they watch this back when SweeneyTV takes over the whole planet? What's your advice to the younger generation out there to get started? Like any tips, any hacks?
I would say just listen. Don't ever think you know it all, and don't ever discredit what somebody's telling you, because at some point during your barber career, you will go, oh yeah, so-and-so said that. Don't ever discredit what someone tells you. Just keep it in there, lock it away. And I think there's something that the industry's kind of lost. When I was trained, we had different size combs, and I'm the only one in my shop that uses a Tayper comb. So I think that's something that's kind of been phased out. So I think a lot more barbers need to get back with the Tayper comb, because they just use the clipper guards instead. And it's a dying skill that I think needs to come back, that I think should be retaught.
Definitely. So explain the combs you're talking about. So that
I haven't got one here.
But just explain. So you got your tapering comb is normally bigger at one end, short at the other.
Yeah, so it kind of it slants down and it's a lot shorter, but they're very thin as well. So you get right into the neck. So if you're doing a scissor cut, you can kind of taper with it, or you can use your clippers, your mini clippers, and you can kind of chip in with it. It helps you get like a nice smooth fade. It helps you get the tapering of the sideburns, and it can help with eyebrow trimming, everything. It's such a handy comb, but a lot of people don't have them anymore.
I do use them, by the way. I use all different types of combs with multiple combs. And then going up from that, you've got your number 2 comb, which is a little bit wider. You've got the curves on the side. You can use that for tapering as well, can't you, normally? And then you go up again, so you've got your standard sort of hairdressing / barbering comb, which you layer in. And then you've got your mid-sized comb, which you get in your wild pack, which you use a clipper over comb. And that's got an actual, what people don't realise is, there's actually a ridge at the bottom of that, which you can actually sit the clipper on if you're doing clipper over comb, right? And I found out that when Mick DeManio gave me the comb. I said, any tips? He said, put a clipper on there.
Yeah.
Good, good. And I've only just said that now, but there you go. And then obviously going up from that, then you've got your larger comb then, which is like your flat topper for in between comb. But do you use afro combs, and what type of brushes do you use when you're styling?
I've got my round brushes. I've got different size round brushes. So I've got my little tiny one, which to be fair needs replacing, it's dead. And then I've got a bigger one, and then I've got a bigger barrel one. So if say people have got the big pumps and stuff, that's a lot easier to use. I've started using a diffuser a lot more because people want the curls. The gents want the curls and the texture. So I'm using that a hell of a lot more. I've got my vent brush. I've got kind of a wide tooth comb for a bit of separation, bit of texture. I've got a drawer full of combs and brushes, and I just get them out as and when I need them, really. But I found Rob introduced me to it, a great big flat comb with like a little spirit level in when you're doing flat tops.
Yeah, that's actually the flat top comb.
That is fantastic. I never saw one of them before in my life, and I saw
they're extremely old, they are, Lina.
I've never seen one, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get that and give it a go. God, it makes it so much easier, don't it? I was really
quite a few of the old school barbers still use them quite regular, apparently.
I really liked it. The boys at work nick it off me all the time, but they
So,
don't.
what's it actually like working in Coventry? Your customer base. Just explain to people about your customer base, and you know, what sort of haircuts you do more than you do others. Is that is there any particular style you'd like doing more than the others, or?
Well, because we're in the city centre, we've got 2 universities in Coventry. So we've got the University of Warwick, and then we've got Coventry University. And we have a massive influx of foreign students, and we also have a lot of homegrown students as well, that travel from all over the country. And it's fades. I'm lucky if maybe once a day I'll get something that's a bit different, but it's fades all the time. And I love scissor work, doing my longer scissor work. That is my absolute favourite. So I've managed to convert quite a few people to having it kind of longer on top and then faded low, just so it blends through nicely. And they've got a little bit of length on top, a little bit of height. And that seems to be the go-to at the moment. But like I said, a lot of people are having the length left on top to have it permed. And it's just easy for people to deal with because then they chuck their stuff in it and off they go. But I do a lot of ladies as well. Kind of, they have like maybe a shaved neck, or they just prefer coming into a barber shop. And yeah, a lot of it is still fade work. It's not going away. I really wanted it to, but it's not.
It's not going away. I remember me and Rob were talking a few years about that long hair was going to come back. It has come back, but through a pandemic, not from choice. So yeah, you are right. Fading is the #1 thing at the moment. Obviously, I do a lot of fading myself, and when I'm open, which I don't know when we're opening back up. I don't even want to watch the news anymore. I'm just happy, just living my life as a free spirit. Yeah, I just keep myself to myself, and I think sometimes that the way people are at the moment, that it's better to keep your circles extremely small, and just try and manage the situation as best you can, and just hope that we can turn it around. Because if you're saying it's what, when did you say, 4th of June?
June, 17th of June.
Lina, that's unacceptable. That is.
That's ridiculous, isn't it? I think he should have done this.
And it's like what they're going to do. They're going to just create a lot of illegal barbering, illegal people seeing each other. People need to see each other. We just got to do the herd immunity thing, I think. But I don't know. I'm not the Prime Minister. I'm more than happy to take the job. Don't get me wrong, but
I think in 10 years there is going to be an absolute crisis for kids. I think kids just ain't going to know what to do with themselves. They've been at home for so long. When this is over, they're not going to want to leave home. They're not going to feel safe to leave home. I think there's going to be a lot of kids with anxiety, with deep depression, because they're being forced to do something they don't feel safe to do. They've been told for months, don't go out, it's not safe. And then they're being thrown back into schools. So I do think there is going to be an absolute mental health crisis in about 10 years when these kids are grown-ups. So it's like my now 6-year-old, he was 6 yesterday. When he's like 10, how's his mental health going to be? Because he's had to go through all of this. I worry for them. I really do.
I think, Lina, like what I put a status up today saying about I need to come up with some sort of like daily routine plan to keep people off the news and the media, so they can start to learn to meditate, learn to read as much as you can. That's what I do. I read quite a lot before I go to bed. I read a lot in the morning, and I try and educate myself with as much information on stuff as I can.
Yeah.
And a lot of the information which I used to gather before was all the conspiracy stuff, and it led me down a stupid road. So now I still like the conspiracy stuff, but I take it with a pinch of salt. But I learn real stuff now, proper books, proper information, stuff which is stamped, sealed, approved. And it'd be nice to see all that in our industry. And we've got a massive platform with the internet now, with all of us can get all our stuff out, and I appreciate the work everybody's put in the barbering industry over the last 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
Gone online. And I just, like, Lina, I just want to ask what your feelings are about like the development of like the worldwide barbering industry as a whole.
See, I don't think it's come to a standstill. I think people are still going on with teaching. It's like colleges have now gone online and they're teaching their students on blockheads, but online. And I don't necessarily think that's the worst idea, because the teachers are having to do more one-on-one teaching instead of having a class and then kind of going round and maybe missing one, or, not maybe sticking to the curriculum as they should or whatever. But they're having to be a lot more one-on-one. So the students are getting a lot more one-on-one attention, which is great. But it's like, people are now releasing a lot of tutorials on how to do certain haircuts and how to do certain fades and necklines and all of this and beard work. And I think it's fantastic. I don't think we've stopped. Whereas a lot of other industries have just stopped and kind of, okay, we'll start when we reopen. We haven't. We've carried on moving. And I think that's fantastic. It shows the strength in the industry.
Well, I've got a couple of things in the pipeline. Obviously, I've started the Ministry of Barbers. We've got a few things going on in the background now at the moment. Lina, what are your plans for 2021? If we open back, when we open back up in June, do you think we'll get any shows this year? And are you going to keep yourself out there, keep doing the magazine work, start writing an article? You can.
Well, part of Zero Gapped, that's kind of what I'm going to be doing. So I am going to be writing the odd article and contributing to the magazine. Nigel's hopefully going to be contributing as well. He's not joining us today, by the way. But yeah, he's going to be contributing to Zero Gapped as well. Because his health and safety knowledge a lot of it is industry based. So why not? I just want to survive it, to be honest. I don't want to get to the point where I go back to work and I think, oh, I'd rather be at home, or, I don't want to get in that headspace where it feels new and different, because it's what I was doing before. So I kind of want to get back to that. I'm hoping for a couple of wins this year, maybe. I don't know what way yet. I've not really thought about it.
Are you going to enter any of the online competitions?
Possibly not, just because I find a lot of them are quite political.
Okay, wait there. Why don't you put yourself into like one of the Portuguese competitions, or the Turkish, or something overseas? See how you get on over there.
Never really thought about that, actually.
Yeah, because like you got to remember, over in this country, a lot of people, everybody knows everybody, and it's sort of like there is a lot of favoritism, 100% in our industry over here when it comes to picking stuff, and we all know that, and everybody suffered the consequences of it. Nobody's not gone in a competition and won everything and been happy dory all the time, because everybody's lost. Do you know what I mean? So, but as far as I'm concerned, like, I think that you should spread your wings a bit more and send some stuff out to use your time to like go to Barberia in South America, send some photos over there, do the Portuguese one, do the German one, do the French one, the Italian one. Why
Is it
not?
really bad that my first thought then was, oh, I could have a week of no kids? Is that really bad?
No, well, not really. You've been stuck with them since March, so do you know what I mean, Lina? You deserve a holiday.
Oh, God.
Listen, if I could get out of the country, I'd be gone straight away. I'll take you with me.
Yeah, cut that bit from the video. Nige don't need to know that.
Go to Dubai. We'll be on a yacht now with McGregor. Or McLoser, as I should say after last.
Oh, my God, I know.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it.
He just made him look so like make him look like a mug, really. Just
Oh, was he like Bambi on ice?
no, like his leg went out and the guy just battered him, and he was just like, it wasn't the normal Conor McGregor you see. I don't think we'll ever get that back. I think that guy's come and gone.
Not in his prime. He was amazing in his prime.
No, when he's in his prime, he was good. I give him his dues for that. So, but you'll never be a Muhammad Ali or a Floyd Mayweather. So
Exactly.
unfortunately,
Because he's Conor McGregor.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's their own archetype nowadays, Lina, you know. So moving on now to last 20 minutes. What would you like to see being introduced into the barbering industry? Obviously, we've got the shows, we've got education, and obviously we've got our barbershops. But would you like to see more magazines becoming involved, more clipper companies becoming involved, more people from outside industries getting more involved in our industry?
I think that isn't a bad idea. I think a lot more industries could use our industry for profit. That's what companies are for. That's what businesses are there for. So they could. It would be fantastic to see magazines and things like that getting involved in competitions, like sponsoring competitions and stuff like that. What I am interested to see is how this, the British Master Barbers, that they're now the platform for the government. They talk to the government on our behalf or something. I'm not 100% sure, but it'll be really interesting to see how that forms with the whole with regulations. How is this all going to work, and how are we going to move forward and get that? Because once again, there's a lot more doors open in there if we can get regulations and regulated and that bar set.
Well, this is the other thing about regulation, is a lot of people aren't getting it done. If you want to be a master craftsman, you have to be state registered, and you've got to be state registered for a while to get it. Obviously you have to pay a membership every year, which is a one-off fee, which is not that much. But at the end of the day, Lina, we need a governing body for our industry, and we haven't had one for so long.
Isn't that the Master Barbers now?
No, well, it's from the email which I had off the Barber and Hair Council. It was something to do with like a Bixus or something. It was a representative we got, which would be representing the hair and beauty industry. And I do believe that they did a round table where they did get everybody together working, and I think all of them are part of it. So I think British Master Barbers are a part of it. The Barber and Hair Council, MFEDS, BBA, Barber Evo, a few others. So
see, that makes sense.
But this is why we set the ministry up. The ministry is to pick the pieces up. No offense, guys, but you're all going to fall out. You do anyway. None of you've all proven you can't work together. Unfortunately, I hate to say it. I'm just saying how it is, guys. I love all of you.
Rivalry between them all, isn't there?
I'm just saying how it is, guys. Okay? If you all hate me, hate me. I'll still be doing SweeneyTV. I'll still be Sweeney. I'll still be open. I'll still be at the shows. I'll still be smashing it.
I don't think they hate each other.
I'll still be acting like a lunatic. So I'm not going away, guys.
I don't think they hate each other. I think it's just a rivalry. There's such a strong rivalry between them all, and they all have such strong opinions on their beliefs that they aren't really open to other opportunities.
Okay, right. I shouldn't really use this as an example, but I'm going to. The Avengers.
Get yourself in trouble.
No. I'm using this as an example. The Avengers. Think about the team they've got. No. Not the big team. Not the massive, the core team. They were all fighting each other first. Thor was fighting Iron Man. fighting a Captain America. They were all fighting each other. Then they became a team, right? But if you look at the Justice League, aka the A-Team, four people. Sweeney, Rob, Mark, Paul. 4 of us. You got B.A. Baracus, Sweeney, Hannibal, Rob, yeah. You got Face, which is Mark, the beautiful one. And then you got the crazy nutter one, but he's crazy nutter with his designs. He's Paul Murdoch.
Oh my God.
So we got the team there. I bet the boys will be loving that when they see you now. Do you know what I mean? But when you think about it, the Justice League, 4 of them, they don't argue and fight.
Hands up. I agree.
They did try and kill Superman, mine, but you know that was
he did it though.
got it. But originally, when the Justice League were put together, they didn't fight each other. They fell up later on. But I just used to be a comic book kid when I was younger, which is my guilty one of my guilty pleasures. So I kept that quiet for years. Same with my scouts. Nobody knew I was a scout. So
I'm getting all the info today.
Oh yeah, I know. I'll be saying I'm MI6 next. Anyway, Lina, coming up to the last sort of 45 minutes, sort of like closing it down now, really. Obviously, you know, are you going to be getting your children involved in hairdressing? I know your son's been to a few of the shows and he does seem to like it.
He likes the attention. He's a bit of a ladies' man. He loves the attention. Now he's got his girlfriend. I'm not sure he will.
Won't be allowed.
He's very serious. But Evan, the little one, he's a bit crazy and he's a bit nuts anyway, but he keeps going on about he wants to be a haircutter when he grows up. And I keep saying, no, it's called a hairdresser or a barber. He goes, no, I'm going to be a haircutter. Okay, fine. And he keeps talking about...
I like him already.
He's cute and he knows it. That's why he gets away with being a dickhead. But
Sounds a bit like me.
Hey! I'm sure it's Nigel's. I'm just getting that bit in there.
You the one who said that. You know what I mean?
But yeah, we're going to get a shop apparently, and he's going to work there when I'm not there, and he's going to be a haircutter.
Oh, he's planned it all out, bless him. Yeah. And he's only 10, isn't he?
Baby's 6.
6, sorry. 6. So the middle one's 10, the eldest one's
14.
14.
No, the baby's 6.
Baby 6.
And then the oldest one's 14.
Oh, okay, yeah, got you.
You won't believe it when you see him next. He's like 6'2".
Wow, great.
Yeah, he's got like a little beard coming on and everything. He won't let me touch it.
He's feeding him too many Weetabix in the morning. He's going through a box a day, I imagine, is he? Growing up.
Can't afford him. I'm sending him. You can't afford him.
Getting out the back, shoveling some coal or something.
Eat the coal. Stop eating food. Eat the coal.
Remember when I did the 1920 show with Sweeney? The boys and they were working since they were 6.
I was like, well, you know.
I know, exactly. But Lina, it's been a great interview with you. Like I said, I've watched you grow over the last few years. You've had your ups and downs, same as me. You've prevailed. You've kept the torch going, and you've always kept your head up high. You've always been very friendly, legitimate, genuine person. And I love to say you're my barber sister. So, you know, just the last message, really, just to say bye now. We're coming up to 50 minutes.
Yeah. Wow. The only thing I want to say is help each other, support each other. I've been talking to a lot of people online, a lot of people that don't really bother with the shows or anything that I probably would never have met. And there is so many fantastic and friendly and loyal people out there in this industry. Don't write everybody off just because one person's a knob. There are so many lovely people out there, and I've met so many during this COVID lockdown, and I just think, you know what, it's not all bad. I love people.
Well, yeah, that's it. And I think that if we all, we're all civil to each other at the shows, if we could carry that mentality to online, that would be great. Like I said, I don't get involved in anything. If I do anything, it's normally embarrassing myself most of the time. So, like I said, guys, you know, you can only be yourself. Never be ashamed to be yourself.
Exactly.
You know, Lina, like I said, just, you know, someone love to the kids, and Nigel.
Always.
I think I'm going to have to get his own little SweeneyTV later on down the line towards the end of the year. And you could jump on his show.
Oh yeah,
show.
get me boobs out in the background. Way.
Yeah, but no, but like Lina, honestly, thank you for coming on. It's been a great interview. I wish you all success with Zero Gap Magazine and obviously with Tayper and Balla Barbers. Thank you very much. Diolch yn fawr.
Thank you, babe.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. So everybody, that was Lina Bonsor. She has just been awarded a ambassador role with Zero Gap, and she is also a Grandmaster Barber and Master Craftsman in the hair and barbering industry. So great to have her on. Thank you very much. Sweeney, Sean Swiss Sweeney, Sweeney HQ, SweeneyTV. I am out.